Let's Get Bugged by Bug, a launch title for the Sega Saturn in the West developed by Real-Time Associates. I actually have a personal connection to Bug, having interviewed David Warhol from Real-Time Associates all the way back in 2013 with Sega Nerds. And while I can't seem to find the actual audio interview or the podcast, I can prove this happened.
We just got finished interviewing Jeff Cook and David Warhol from Real-Time Associates.
There you go, really young me in a tiny box. In any case, back then I was quite reverential of Bug, but in recent years my opinion has changed. How much? Let's discuss. Bug is interesting in the way that it approaches platforming. All of the telltale signs of fighting enemies by jumping on them, powering up with a zap power-up or spit and playing bonus levels is here. But on occasion you'll walk in and out of the screen while hazards assail you, fly on the back of a dragonfly between levels and fight well-animated but sprite-based bosses. The core controls are really good and Bug himself is a bit of a delight to move around. However, the game begins to unravel as you start to notice enemies bum-rushing you from off-screen or you just falling off the levels or into pits, as you can't see the ledge until you're right on top of them. I'm not exactly a first-time player, but I try to look at games through the eyes of a gamer new to Bug. It's so unfriendly at first, from the initial stages being long and frankly annoying due to the issues I mentioned, to the other small missteps that the whole thing just seems incohesive. The issue that causes all of these problems is the camera seems too intimate. You have limited room to move around due to your size and the size of enemy sprites. Due to the closeness of the camera and the size of the sprites, you take cheap hit after cheap hit. There are also bonus levels to try and help you recover some of your lost lives, but it's not immediately obvious what you actually need to do sometimes in these, and you fail them before you can even figure out what's going on, making them feel like a bit of a waste of time. It's not ultimately that bad of a game, but it's one that seems to be doggedly trying to over-challenge the player. There's no feeling of ramping or graduation in the difficulty level. It's just challenging from the first stage and just gets harder and harder as you go. With practice and memorization, you end up making it through levels, but with some enemies requiring multiple hits and you bouncing all over the place trying to do it, or the camera fighting you, the proceedings never quite penetrate that layer of frustration for me. It's a shame because I absolutely love the way Bug looks. Crisp, colourful graphics blend in with some really fun, chunky sprites and great animation. Some of the levels look better than others, like the water levels or the swamp levels, but otherwise the whole thing not only looks, but sounds great too. With this being the premier Sega Saturn 3D platformer, it's fallen more and more on its face for me in recent years replaying it. Bug 2 is a huge improvement in retrospect, and one I plan to cover in the coming months. Thanks for watching.